Alright, let's jump into the story. Imagine a bright, sunny Saturday morning. The sun is shining, the sky is blue, and everything feels happy and calm. This is happening in a little neighborhood called Sunny Hills. It's a quiet place where birds are chirping, flying from tree to tree, singing their happy songs. Kids are running around, laughing and playing games like tag or hide and seek. The air smells like fresh grass and flowers. It's the kind of day where you just want to sit outside and smile. Everything seems perfect, like a picture from a storybook. Now, let me introduce you to Jake Miller. Jake is the new guy in Sunny Hills. He just moved into a small house on a street with pretty trees and neat little yards. Jake is a regular guy, someone you might see anywhere. He's not super tall or super short, just normal. He's got brown hair and likes wearing comfy clothes like jeans and t-shirts. Jake loves simple stuff. He's the kind of person who plays video games for hours, beating levels and fighting bad guys on the screen. He also loves pizza. Pepperoni is his favorite. When he's not gaming or eating, he's happy just chilling by himself, maybe reading a comic book or watching a funny show. Jake doesn't need a lot of fuss. He's easygoing and likes keeping things quiet. But here's the big thing about Jake, he's got a secret. Yep, a secret. Nobody in Sunny Hills knows it yet. They all think he's just some random dude who moved in with a few boxes and a beat-up old car. But Jake isn't random at all. There's something special about him, something huge, and it's hiding right under everyone's noses. This secret is so big it's going to shake up the whole neighborhood like an earthquake or a surprise party no one saw coming. Sunny Hills might look sleepy and boring, but with Jake around, things are about to get wild. Let's talk about Jake's new house for a minute. It's not fancy or big. It's just a little place with white walls and a red door. The windows are small, but they let in lots of sunlight. Inside, Jake's got a couch, a TV for his games, and a tiny kitchen where he makes his pizza snacks. Out front, there's a lawn. But calling it a lawn might be too much, it's super small. It's like a little patch of grass, so tiny you could cover it with a blanket. You could mow it in 5 minutes, tops. Jake likes it, though. It's his little piece of the world, and he's happy to have it. But not everyone is happy about Jake being there. Across the street lives Karen Baxter. Oh boy, Karen is something else. She's the HOA queen. HOA stands for Homeowners Association. It's a group that makes rules for the neighborhood, like how tall your grass can be or what color your house can be painted. Karen loves those rules more than anything. She's the boss of them, the one who makes sure everyone follows every little detail. She's got a clipboard she carries everywhere, like it's glued to her hand. On that clipboard, she writes down anything she doesn't like. And she's got a ruler, too, a little metal one she uses to measure stuff like grass or fences, to make sure it's perfect. Karen's not super young or super old. She's got short hair that's always neat, and she wears bright clothes, like pink shirts or yellow shorts. She walks around with her head held high, like she owns the whole street. And trust me, she thinks she does. If you've ever met someone who's always telling people what to do, that's Karen. She's the type who knocks on your door if your trash can is out 5 minutes too long. She's got her eyes on everything, and now, those eyes are on Jake. From the very first day Jake moved in, Karen noticed him. She stood on her porch, squinting across the street, watching him carry boxes into his house. She didn't wave or say hi like a nice neighbor would. Nope. She just stared, her lips pressed tight, already thinking about what rules he might break. Jake didn't know it yet, but Karen was going to be trouble. Big trouble. She's the kind of person who can turn a quiet day into a loud mess, and she's got her sights set on that tiny lawn of his. See, Jake just wants to enjoy his new place. He's not looking for fights or drama. He's happy to unpack his games, order a pizza, and relax. Maybe he'll even sit on his porch and watch the birds like everyone else. He's not here to cause problems. But Karen? She's got other plans. She's already decided Jake doesn't fit in Sunny Hills. To her, he's an outsider, someone who doesn't know how things work around here. And she's not shy about letting him know it. Let's zoom in on that first day a little more. Jake pulls up in his old car. It's a rusty blue thing that creaks when it stops. He hops out, grabs a box labeled games, and heads inside. The sun's shining, and he's whistling a little tune, feeling good about his fresh start. Across the street, Karen's already peeking through her blinds. She's got those curtains pulled just enough to spy without being seen. Her eyes narrow when she sees Jake's car. Too old, she mutters to herself. Then she spots his sneakers worn out and a little dirty. Sloppy, she says, scribbling on her clipboard. She doesn't even know his name yet, but she's already judging him. Jake doesn't notice her at first. He's too busy settling in. He sets up his TV, plugs in his game system, and flops on the couch with a big grin. This is it, he thinks. My own place. He's got no idea that Karen's already planning her next move. She's like a hawk, circling above, waiting for something to pounce on. And that something? It's going to be that tiny lawn. The next morning, that sunny Saturday, Jake steps outside to check out his yard. He's in a good mood, sipping some juice from a cup. The grass looks fine to him. It's short, green, and neat. Sure, it's not perfect, but it's not a mess either. He shrugs and thinks, good enough. He's not the kind of guy who worries about every little thing. But Karen? She's been up since sunrise, binoculars in hand, staring at that lawn like it's her job. She spots it right away, one blade of grass. One single, tiny blade sticking up a little higher than the rest. To you or me, it's nothing. Just grass being grass. But to Karen, it's a disaster. Her eyes go wide, and she gasps like she's seen a monster. Unacceptable, she says to herself, slamming her coffee mug down. She grabs her ruler, her clipboard, and her phone, ready for war. That one blade of grass is about to change everything. Jake's still chilling, totally clueless. He's thinking about what game to play later, maybe something with dragons or spaceships. He's got no idea that Karen's already marching across the street, her flip-flops smacking the pavement. She's coming for him, and she's not going to be quiet about it. This is where the story really starts to heat up, because Karen's about to make Jake's life a lot louder than he ever wanted. But here's the fun part, Jake's secret. Remember that? It's still hiding, waiting for the right moment to pop out. Karen thinks she's the boss, the queen of Sunny Hills, but she doesn't know who she's messing with. Jake's not just some guy with a tiny lawn and a love for pizza. He's got something up his sleeve, something that's going to turn this whole neighborhood upside down. And trust me, when that secret comes out, Karen's going to wish she'd left that one blade of grass alone. So, picture this little scene, Jake's on his porch, sipping his juice, enjoying the sunny day. The birds are still singing, the kids are still playing, and everything feels peaceful. But across the street, Karen's gearing up like she's about to fight a battle. She's got her ruler in one hand, her clipboard in the other, and a look on her face that says, this kid's in big trouble. She doesn't know it yet, but she's the one who's about to get a surprise. Let's stretch this out a bit more, because this moment is important. Jake's new to Sunny Hills, right? He picked this place because it looked calm and friendly. He saw the cute houses, the green lawns, and thought, yeah, this could be home. He's not rich or fancy, he saved up for this house with his own hard work. It's small, but it's his, and that makes him proud. He's not here to show off or cause a fuss. He just wants a spot to call his own, where he can game, eat, and relax. Sunny Hill seemed perfect for that. It's got a little park down the road where dogs run around chasing balls. There's a corner store that sells candy and soda, and Jake's already planning to grab some snacks there later. The neighbors seem nice enough, some waved when he drove in, others just nodded. It's a place where people mow their lawns, walk their dogs, and live quiet lives. Or at least, that's what Jake thought. But Karen? She's the fly in the ointment, the one thing that doesn't fit. She's not like the other neighbors. While they're smiling and minding their own business, Karen's out there with her rules and her clipboard, acting like she's the president of the street. She's been in Sunny Hills for years, and she's made it her mission to keep everything perfect. Perfect grass, perfect houses, perfect people. And to her, Jake doesn't look perfect. Let's talk about Karen a little more, because she's a big deal in this story. She's not evil or mean deep down, she just loves control. She's the kind of person who measures her own lawn every day, making sure it's exactly 2 inches tall. If it's a tiny bit off, she's out there with scissors, snipping away. Her house is spotless white paint, no cracks, flowers in neat rows. She's proud of it, and she thinks everyone else should be just as perfect. Karen's got a husband named Bob, but he's quiet and stays out of her way. He mows the lawn when she tells him to and nods when she talks about rules. She's got a little dog, too, a yappy thing named Princess that barks at everything. Princess wears a pink collar and follows Karen around like a shadow. Together, they're the rulers of Sunny Hills, at least, that's how Karen sees it. So when Jake moves in, Karen's radar goes off. New guy? Old car? Messy sneakers? He's not her idea of perfect. She's already decided he's trouble, even though he hasn't done anything wrong. That tiny lawn of his? It's her first target. She's been waiting for an excuse to flex her HOA powers, and Jake's about to give her one without even trying. Back to that Saturday morning. Jake's still on his porch, totally relaxed. He's wearing a gray t-shirt and shorts, his hair a little messy from sleep. He's got his juice in one hand and his phone in the other, scrolling through game updates. The sun feels warm on his face, and he's thinking this move was a great idea. He's got no clue that Karen's watching him like a hawk, her ruler ready to strike. Karen's house is right across the street, maybe 20 steps away. It's so close Jake could toss a ball and hit her porch. Her windows are open, and he can hear Princess yapping inside. He doesn't think much of it, dogs bark, right? But then he hears those flip-flops. Slap, slap, slap. He looks up, and there she is, Karen, marching toward him with a face like thunder. Jake blinks, confused. He's never met this lady before. She's got her clipboard tucked under her arm, her ruler sticking out like a sword. Her pink shirt is bright enough to hurt your eyes, and her shorts have little flowers on them. She stops at the edge of his lawn, staring down at that one blade of grass like it's the worst thing she's ever seen. "Excuse me," she says, her voice loud and sharp. Jake jumps a little, spilling some juice on his shirt. Hi," he says, wiping it off. Karen doesn't smile. She points at the grass with her ruler and says, "This is a problem. A big problem." Jake looks at his lawn, then back at her. "What's wrong with it?" he asks, totally lost. Karen huffs, like he's the dumbest person alive. "This grass. It's too long. We have rules here in Sunny Hills, and you're breaking them." Jake scratches his head. "It's just one blade," he says. "I'll cut it later." But Karen's not having it. She shakes her head, her hair bouncing. "Later isn't good enough. This is my neighborhood, and I won't let it turn into a jungle." Jake stares at her, not sure what to say. He's thinking, jungle? It's one blade of grass. But Karen's already writing on her clipboard, muttering about new people and no respect. She turns and stomps back to her house, leaving Jake sitting there, juice dripping down his shirt, wondering what just happened. And that's where it all begins. Jake's just trying to live his life, but Karen's about to make it a lot harder. She's got her rules, her ruler, and her big loud voice. She thinks she's in charge, and she's ready to boss Jake around until he fits her perfect little picture. But Jake's secret? It's still there, waiting. And when it comes out, Karen's going to learn she picked the wrong guy to mess with. Okay, let's dive into this part of the story. It all kicks off with something super small, one tiny blade of grass. Yep, just one. Jake's lawn looks great. It's neat, it's trimmed, it's green, pretty much perfect. Well, almost perfect. There's this one little blade sticking up a bit higher than the rest. It's not a big deal at all. If you saw it, you'd probably just shrug and keep walking. Most people wouldn't even notice it. But Karen? Oh no, not Karen. She's not like most people. Karen Baxter, the HOA queen, spots that blade from across the street, and it's like her whole world flips upside down. To her, that one blade isn't just grass, it's a giant problem. It's like a huge red flag waving in her face. She can't let it go. She won't let it go. So what does she do? She grabs her ruler and her clipboard, throws on her flip-flops, and storms out of her house. Her flip-flops make this loud slap, slap, slap sound as she marches across the pavement. She's mad, and she's coming straight for Jake. Jake's inside his little house, minding his own business. Maybe he's eating a slice of pizza or playing a video game, something chill. He's not thinking about his lawn at all. Why would he? It's fine. But then bang bang bang, someone's pounding on his door like they're trying to break it down. Jake jumps a little, surprised. He puts down his pizza or his game controller and walks over to see what's up. When he opens the door, there's Karen, standing there with a glare that could melt ice. "Excuse me, young man," she snaps, her voice loud and sharp. She's pointing at his lawn with her ruler, jabbing it in the air like it's a sword. "Look at this. Look at that blade of grass." Jake blinks, confused. He steps outside and looks where she's pointing. He sees his lawn nice and tidy and then that one little blade sticking up. He tilts his head, not sure what the big deal is. What about it?" he asks, scratching his head. Karen's eyes get wide, like she can't believe he doesn't get it. "What about it?" she yells. "This is Sunny Hills. We have standards here. That grass is too long, and it's breaking the rules. I'm reporting this to the HOA." Her face is turning red, and she's waving her clipboard around like it's proof she's right. Jake just stares at her, trying to stay calm. He doesn't want a fight. He's not that kind of guy. "Okay," he says slowly. "I'll trim it tomorrow. No problem." But that's not good enough for Karen. "Oh no." She huffs, crossing her arms. "Tomorrow," she says, like it's the craziest thing she's ever heard. "It needs to be fixed now. You new people don't understand how things work here." Then she turns around and marches off, her flip-flop slapping away. As she goes, Jake hears her muttering under her breath stuff like lazy newcomers and ruining the neighborhood. She's mad, and she wants him to know it. Jake watches her go, standing on his porch with his hands in his pockets. He sighs, a big, tired sigh. She's just a grumpy busybody, he thinks to himself. He figures she'll calm down eventually. Maybe she's having a bad day or something. He shrugs and heads back inside to finish his pizza. No big deal, right? Wrong. Here's the thing, Karen isn't done. Not even close. That one blade of grass. It's just the start. See, Karen doesn't let things go. She's not the type to forget and move on. She's the type to watch and wait and make everything a huge deal. After she storms back to her house, she doesn't just sit down and relax. Nope. She goes straight to her window, pulls the blinds apart just a little, and stares at Jake's house. She's like a spy now, peeking out with her sharp eyes. She's got her clipboard on the table next to her, and she's already writing stuff down. New guy. Messy lawn. Breaking rules, she scribbles. She's keeping track of everything. Jake doesn't know she's watching him. He's back inside, playing his game or maybe flipping through a comic book. He's trying to enjoy his Saturday, thinking everything's cool. But across the street, Karen's brain is buzzing. She's thinking about that blade of grass and how it's ruining Sunny Hills. To her, it's not just grass, it's a sign that Jake doesn't belong. She's decided he's trouble, and she's going to make sure he knows it. The next day, Sunday, Jake's outside again. He's got a little pair of scissors, not even a lawnmower, just scissors because his lawn is so tiny. He snips that one blade of grass, making it nice and short. There, he says to himself, dusting off his hands. All fixed. He smiles, feeling good. The lawn looks perfect now, even to someone picky. He figures that's the end of it. Karen will see it, be happy, and leave him alone. Right? Nope. Karen's still watching. She's at her window again, squinting through the blinds. She sees Jake cut the grass, but she doesn't smile or nod. Instead, she frowns even more. Humph, she grumbles. Took him long enough. She writes that down, too slow to fix lawn. She's not happy yet. She's looking for more things to complain about. That one blade was just the beginning, and now she's got her eyes peeled for anything else she can use against him. Monday comes, and Jake's outside checking his mailbox. It's a normal day, sunny, warm, birds singing. He's wearing his usual jeans and t-shirt, humming a little tune. He grabs his mail and flips through it, some bills, a game magazine, nothing exciting. But Karen's watching again. She's got her binoculars now, zooming in from her living room. She sees Jake's sneakers, they're a little dirty from walking around. Sloppy shoes, she mutters, adding it to her list. She's building a case against him, like he's a criminal or something. Tuesday rolls around, and Jake waters his tiny lawn. It's hot out, so he's giving the grass a quick drink with a little watering can. It's not a big deal, just a few splashes to keep it green. But Karen's on it like a hawk. She bursts out of her house, flip-flop slapping, and yells across the street, "Hey! You're overwatering. That's against the rules." Jake looks up, surprised. I don't think so," he says, holding up his tiny can. "It's just a little water." Karen's not listening. She's too mad. "We have standards," she shouts again, pointing at him like he's broken a big law. "I'm watching you, mister." Then she stomps back inside, slamming her door. Jake just stands there, watering can in hand, wondering what her problem is. He's starting to think this neighborhood might not be as nice as he thought. Maybe moving here was a mistake. Or maybe, just maybe, he's got something up his sleeve that Karen doesn't see coming. See, Jake's a chill guy, but he's not dumb. He's noticing how Karen's acting. She's not just grumpy, she's obsessed. She's watching him all the time, waiting for him to mess up. Every day, it's something new. Wednesday, she complains his trash can is too close to the curb. Thursday, she says his car is parked a tiny bit crooked. Friday, she's mad because he left a pizza box on his porch for, 10 minutes before taking it inside. It's non-stop. She's got her clipboard, her ruler, and her loud voice, and she's using them all on Jake. Jake's starting to feel the tension. It's like a tightrope pulling at him. He just wants to live his life, play games, eat pizza, relax, but Karen's making it hard. Every time he steps outside, he feels her eyes on him. He can almost hear her muttering from across the street. He's wondering, why me? What did I do? He's not mad yet, just annoyed. But that annoyance is growing, little by little, like a balloon filling up with air. Karen's not backing off either. She's doubling down. She starts talking to the neighbors about Jake, spreading her complaints like gossip. That new guy doesn't fit here, she tells Mrs. Lopez next door. He's lazy, look at his lawn. Mrs. Lopez nods, but she doesn't really care. Karen doesn't stop there. She corners Mr. Patel down the street and says, his shoes are dirty. He's ruining Sunny Hills. Mr. Patel just smiles and walks away. Karen's trying to get everyone on her side, but most people just think she's being loud for no reason. Still, she keeps going. She's got her little dog, Princess, barking at Jake whenever he's outside. She's got her binoculars glued to her face, spying on him day and night. She's even started leaving notes on his door, little pieces of paper with angry words like "fix your lawn," or "follow the rules." Jake finds them and sighs. He's trying to stay cool, but it's getting tougher. Karen's like a buzzing fly that won't go away. Let's stretch this out some more, because this tension is the heart of the story. Imagine Jake waking up every morning, peeking out his window to see if Karen's there. Some days, she's on her porch, sipping coffee and staring. Other days, she's already pacing the street, ruler in hand. Jake's starting to feel like he's in a cage. He can't just enjoy his house anymore. Every little thing he does, watering plants, checking mail, sitting outside, turns into a fight with Karen. One day, he tries talking to her. He walks across the street, hands in his pockets, and says, "Hey, can we figure this out? I don't want trouble." Karen doesn't even let him finish. "Trouble," she snaps. "You're the trouble. Look at this place since you got here." She waves her ruler at his house like it's a mess, even though it's fine. Jake backs off, shaking his head. "Okay, never mind," he mutters, walking away. Karen yells after him, "I'm reporting you. You'll see." That's when Jake starts wondering. He's sitting on his couch, pizza slice in hand, thinking hard. Is this worth it, he asks himself. Maybe I picked the wrong place. Sunny Hills looks so nice on the outside, cute houses, green lawns, happy kids. But inside, it's got Karen, and she's turning it into a battlefield. He's not sure what to do. Move again? Fight back. He doesn't like fighting, but he's not a pushover either. And here's the cool part, Jake's got that secret. Remember? It's still hiding, waiting for the right time. Karen thinks she's winning. She thinks she's the boss, the queen of Sunny Hills, and Jake's just some kid she can boss around. She's watching him, writing her notes, yelling her rules, building up all this tension. But Jake's not as helpless as she thinks. He's got something she doesn't know about, something big. And it's starting to peek out, just a little. Let's picture one more scene to really feel this tension. It's a quiet afternoon. Jake's outside, sweeping his porch with a broom. It's a simple thing, just keeping things clean. The sun's low, the air's cool, and everything's peaceful. But then slap, 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 here comes Karen. She's got her clipboard and a new note in her hand. She stops at his lawn and says, "Your broom. It's too loud. That's against the rules." Jake stops sweeping and looks at her. "It's a broom," he says, holding it up. "How is it loud?" Karen's face gets red again. "Don't talk back to me," she shouts. "I'm in charge here." She slaps the note on his mailbox, "No noisy sweeping," and stomps off. Jake picks it up, reads it, and sighs. He's tired of this. Really tired. But deep down, he's starting to smirk a little. Why? Because that secret's there, bubbling up. Karen's pushing him, watching him, making his life noisy and tense. She thinks she's got all the power. But Jake's got a trick up his sleeve, and it's going to change everything. She's not ready for it. Not at all. All right, let's keep this story rolling. Days go by after that first big fight about the grass. The sun comes up, the sun goes down, and things in Sunny Hills start to heat up. Karen Baxter, the HOA queen, is on a mission. She's not letting go of Jake Miller, the new guy with the tiny lawn. Nope, she's just getting started. She's like a dog with a bone, she's not dropping it, no matter what. And Jake? He's trying to stay calm, but Karen's making that really hard. So, what's Karen up to? Oh, she's busy. She's out there every day, watching Jake's house like it's her job. She's got her ruler, the little metal one she loves so much, and she's measuring his lawn. She bends down, squinting at the grass, checking every inch. Is it too long? Too short? Not perfect enough? She's super picky. One day, she decides it's a tiny bit too tall again. Not a lot, just a smidge. But that's enough for Karen. She pulls out her phone and starts snapping pictures. The pics are blurry because she's so mad her hands are shaking, but she doesn't care. Proof, she says to herself, grinning like she's caught Jake doing something bad. But she doesn't stop there. Karen's got more tricks. She starts writing notes, mean little notes on bright yellow paper. She scribbles stuff like "fix your grass or else," in big, angry letters. Then she marches over to Jake's house, her flip-flops slapping the ground, and tapes the notes to his mailbox. Slap. There goes one. Slap. There goes another. She's leaving them all over, like little warning signs. This kid's going to learn, she mutters as she stomps back home. She's acting like Jake's lawn is the biggest problem in the world. Jake sees the notes when he checks his mail. He pulls one off the mailbox and reads it, "Fix your grass or else." He scratches his head, confused. Else what, he wonders. He looks at his lawn. It's neat and green. He mows it every week, even though it's so small he could trim it with scissors. He's doing his best. But Karen's not happy. Nothing he does is good enough for her. She's on a mission to make his life tough, and she's not slowing down. Karen's not just bugging Jake at his house, though. She's talking to the neighbors, too. She's whining about him every chance she gets. One day, she's out walking her yappy dog, Princess, and stops by Mrs. Lopez's house. Mrs. Lopez is watering her flowers, minding her own business. Karen leans over the fence and says, "You know that new kid across the street? Jake. He's a sloppy mess. He doesn't belong here." Mrs. Lopez looks up, surprised. "He seems nice," she says, but Karen shakes her head. "Nice? No way. His lawn's a disaster." Mrs. Lopez just shrugs and goes back to her flowers, but Karen's already off to find someone else to complain to. Next, she corners Mr. Patel, who's raking leaves in his yard. "Mr. Patel," she calls, waving her clipboard. "That Jake kid is ruining Sunny Hills. He's so sloppy, look at his shoes." Mr. Patel smiles politely and says, "I think he's okay." But Karen's not listening. She's too busy ranting. "Okay? No. We've got standards here, and he's breaking them. She's trying to get everyone to agree with her, to gang up on Jake. But most people don't care. They just nod and let her talk, thinking she's making a big fuss over nothing. Meanwhile, Jake's not just sitting there taking it. He's not mad yet, he's too chill for that, but he's not blind either. He's watching Karen right back. See, Jake's got this little habit. He likes to listen. Not in a sneaky, creepy way, but in a smart way. He's quiet, so people don't notice him much. And when he's outside, maybe sweeping his porch or grabbing his mail, he hears things. He hears Karen talking to the neighbors, bragging about how she runs the street. She's loud, so it's not hard to catch her words. "I'll teach that new guy a lesson," she says one day, her voice carrying across the street. "He'll learn who's in charge here." Jake hears that and just smiles. It's a little smile, not a big goofy one, just a tiny curve of his lips. Why's he smiling? Because he knows something Karen doesn't. Something huge. It's like a secret hiding in his pocket, waiting for the right time to pop out. He's not scared of her yelling or her notes or her ruler. He's got a trick up his sleeve, and it's getting closer every day. Karen thinks she's winning, but Jake's not worried. He's patient. He's waiting. Let's zoom in on a few more days, because this is where it gets fun. One morning, Jake's outside mowing his lawn again. He's got a little push mower, nothing fancy, and he's cutting the grass nice and short. It takes him, like, 10 minutes because the lawn's so tiny. He's sweating a bit, but he's happy. "There," he says when he's done, wiping his forehead. "Perfect." He puts the mower away and goes inside for some water. He thinks maybe Karen will chill out now. Nope. Karen's at her window, peeking through the blinds with her binoculars. She sees the lawn, and yeah, it's short, but she still finds something to complain about. It's uneven, she grumbles to herself. One side's a tiny bit longer. It's not really true, most people wouldn't notice, but Karen's got eagle eyes for stuff like that. She scribbles it on her clipboard, "lawn uneven. Bad job." And starts planning her next move. She's not giving up. The next day, Jake's taking out his trash. It's trash day, so he drags his little can to the curb. He's whistling a tune, feeling good. The can's not overflowing or messy, it's just normal trash. But Karen's watching again. She bursts out her door, flip-flop slapping, and yells, "Hey! That can's too close to the curb." Jake turns around, confused. "It's trash day," he says, pointing at the can. "It's supposed to be here." Karen crosses her arms. "Too close," she snaps. "There's a rule, 6 inches from the edge. You're breaking it." Jake blinks. 6 inches, he says. "Really?" But Karen's already stomping off, muttering about lazy kids again. Jake shakes his head and goes back inside. He's starting to laugh a little now, not a big laugh, just a quiet chuckle. Karen's getting sillier every day. 6 inches. For a trash can? He's thinking she's making stuff up just to bug him. But he's still cool about it. He mows the lawn, moves the trash can a tiny bit, and keeps living his life. He's not fighting back, not yet. He's just watching and listening. Then comes the big moment one afternoon that really shows how wild Karen's getting. Jake's outside watering his plants. He's got a few little flowers by his porch, nothing fancy, and he's giving them a sprinkle with a small watering can. It's hot out, so the plants need it. Totally normal, right? Most people would say, "Ah, cute flowers," and keep walking. But not Karen. Oh no. She's on her porch, sipping iced tea, when she spots him. Her eyes go wide, and she drops her glass crash, right on the floor. "You're overwatering," she screeches, jumping up so fast her chair tips over. She runs across the street, her flip-flops flying, and stops right in front of Jake. "That's against the rules," she yells, pointing at his watering can like it's a weapon. Jake raises an eyebrow, holding up the can. "Overwatering," he says. "It's just a little sprinkle." "Pretty sure that's not a rule." Karen's face turns bright red, like a tomato. "It is a rule," she shouts. "You're flooding the street. I'm calling the authorities." Then she spins around and storms off, yelling, "You'll see. You'll see." Jake watches her go, standing there with his watering can dripping a little. He shakes his head and mutters to himself, "Oh, Karen, you have no idea, he's not mad, he's almost amused. Calling the authorities. Over a few drops of water? It's nuts. But that's Karen. She's taking this way too far, and Jake's starting to see it clear as day. She's not just picky, she's obsessed. She's out to get him, no matter what. Let's stretch this out some more, because these little moments are building up big time. The next day, Jake's sweeping his porch. It's a quiet morning, and he's just tidying up some leaves. The broom makes a soft swish swish sound, nothing loud. But Karen's on patrol again. She pops out of her house like a jack-in-the-box and yells, "Too noisy. Sweeping's against the rules." Jake stops and looks at her. "It's a broom," he says, holding it up. "How's it noisy?" Karen stomps her foot. "It's bothering me," she snaps. "Stop it right now." Then she runs back inside, slamming her door. Jake chuckles again. A noisy broom? That's a new one. He's keeping his cool, but he's noticing a pattern. Every little thing he does, mowing, watering, sweeping, Karen's there with a complaint. She's got her ruler, her phone, her notes, and her loud voice, and she's using them all to make his life a hassle. She's whining to the neighbors, taping notes everywhere, watching him like a hawk. It's non-stop. But here's where Jake's different. He's not just taking it, he's paying attention. He's listening when Karen brags to Mrs. Lopez about how she's fixing Sunny Hills. He's hearing her tell Mr. Patel she'll put that kid in his place. He's catching every word, every glare, every little thing she does. And every time she yells at him, he smiles that tiny smile. Why? Because he's got that secret. It's still hiding, but it's getting closer to coming out. Let's add one more day to really feel this. It's a sunny afternoon, and Jake's sitting on his porch with a soda. He's relaxing, watching some kids ride bikes down the street. It's peaceful until Karen shows up. She's got a new note in her hand, and she slaps it on his mailbox. "Your soda can's shiny," she says, pointing at it. "It's reflecting light into my house. That's against the rules." Jake looks at his soda, then at her. "A shiny can," he says, trying not to laugh. "Seriously?" Karen nods, all serious. "Yes." "Fix it." Then she marches off, flip-flop slapping away. Jake picks up the note and reads it. No shiny cans. He shakes his head, grinning now. It's ridiculous, but it's Karen. She's finding any excuse to bug him. The lawn, the trash, the watering, the sweeping, now a soda can. She's on a roll. And she's still talking big, telling everyone she's in charge, that she'll make Jake follow her rules. She thinks she's winning this little war. But Jake's not losing. He's calm, he's quiet, and he's smart. He's mowing his lawn every week, moving his trash can, watering his plants just right. He's doing everything he can to keep the peace. But Karen's not happy, and she's not stopping. She's pushing harder, getting louder, making this tension grow bigger and bigger. She's got no idea what's coming, though. That secret Jake's got. It's like a present waiting to be unwrapped. Every time Karen yells, every time she glares, every time she leaves a note, it's getting closer to popping out. Jake's listening, watching, smiling that little smile. He hears her brag, "I run the street," and he thinks, not for long. He's not scared of her authorities or her rules. He's got something huge up his sleeve, and it's almost time to show it. All right, here we go. This is the big moment. It's a quiet Tuesday in Sunny Hills. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and everything feels calm. Jake Miller, our new guy, is chilling on his porch. He's got a soda in his hand, just sitting there in his jeans and t-shirt, enjoying the day. He's not thinking about his tiny lawn or Karen Baxter or any of that mess. He's just relaxing, watching the clouds go by. It's peaceful until it's not. Suddenly, Jake hears something. It's loud and sharp sirens. Yep, police sirens. They're getting closer, wailing through the quiet streets. Jake sits up a little, curious. He's not scared, just wondering what's up. Then, out of nowhere, a police car rolls right up to his house. Its lights are flashing red and blue, spinning around, and it stops right in front of his tiny lawn. The neighbors hear it too. They start peeking out their windows, pulling curtains aside, whispering to each other. "What's going on?" they say. "Why are the cops here?" The car door opens, and out steps a police officer. He's tall, wearing a dark blue uniform with a shiny badge on his chest. He's got a serious look on his face, like he's here for something important. And guess who's right behind him? Karen Baxter. She's stomping along, her flip-flops slapping the ground, her arms crossed tight. She's smirking, a big, smug smile on her face, like she just won $1 million. She's got her clipboard tucked under her arm, and she's ready to make a scene. Karen points right at Jake, her finger jabbing the air. "That's him," she yells, loud enough for the whole street to hear. "That's the guy. He's breaking every HOA rule in the book. Arrest him." Her voice is sharp and bossy, like she's the queen of everything. She's standing there, all proud, thinking she's finally got Jake in big trouble. The neighbors lean closer to their windows, eyes wide. They're wondering what Jake did to make Karen call the cops. The officer steps forward, calm and slow. He walks up to Jake's porch and looks around. He sees the tiny lawn neat, green, trimmed. He tilts his head, then scratches it with one hand. "Ma'am," he says, turning to Karen, "I don't see a problem here." His voice is steady, like he's confused about why he's even there. The lawn looks fine to him. It's just grass. Nothing crazy, nothing messy. He's not sure what Karen's so mad about. Karen loses it. She throws her hands up in the air and yells, "What? Are you blind?" Her face turns red, and she stomps closer, pointing at the lawn again. "Look at that blade of grass. It's too long. It's a disgrace. I called 911 for this." She's shouting now, her voice bouncing off the houses. She's acting like that one tiny blade barely sticking up is the worst crime ever. The officer blinks at her, then looks back at the lawn. He still doesn't see it. To him, it's just a lawn. No big deal. The neighbors are buzzing now. Mrs. Lopez is at her window, shaking her head. Mr. Patel's peeking out his door, whispering to his wife. Kids on bikes stop riding and stare. Everyone's wondering what's happening. Did Jake really do something bad? Is Karen right? They're all waiting to see what happens next, holding their breath. And that's when it happens, the big moment. Jake stands up from his chair, slow and easy. He's not rushing, not sweating, not worried. He's calm as can be, like he's been waiting for this. He sets his soda down on the porch railing and brushes his hands on his jeans. Then he reaches into his pocket. The officer watches him. Karen watches him. The neighbors watch him. Everyone's eyes are glued to Jake, wondering what he's pulling out. He takes out something small and shiny, a badge. A real, metal badge, like the kind cops carry. He holds it up high, letting it catch the sunlight so it glints and sparkles. The officer's eyes go wide, like saucers. Karen's jaw drops. She looks like she's seen a ghost. Her smirk is gone, just like that. Jake grins, a big, easy grin, and says, "Officer, thanks for stopping by. Name's Jake Miller, undercover sheriff's deputy. Been living here to keep an eye on some shady stuff going down in Sunny Hills. Didn't think I'd have to deal with a lawn emergency, though." Boom. The street explodes with gasps. The neighbors gasp, all at once. Mrs. Lopez drops her curtain. Mr. Patel steps outside, mouth open. The kids on bikes whisper, "Whoa, he's a cop." Even the birds seem to stop chirping for a second. It's like the whole world freezes. Jake's not just some new guy with a tiny lawn, he's a sheriff's deputy. An undercover one. That means he's been hiding who he really is, pretending to be normal while he works a secret job. Karen stammers, tripping over her words. What?" she says, her voice shaky. You're a cop." She can't believe it. Her arms fall to her sides, and her clipboard slips a little. She's staring at Jake like he's turned into a superhero right in front of her. She thought he was just a sloppy kid with a messy lawn, someone she could boss around. But now she's realizing she's been yelling at a deputy this whole time. Jake nods, still grinning. "Yup," he says, simple as that. He flips the badge in his hand, then tucks it back in his pocket. "Been here for a reason. See, there's some shady stuff happening in Sunny Hills. People breaking real rules, not lawn rules, but big ones. I've been watching, listening, figuring it out. He pauses, then looks right at Karen. And funny thing, those shady stuff reports? They're starting to point to someone who's been making a lot of noise around here. Guess who? Karen's face goes white. Like, ghost white. She takes a step back, her flip-flops squeaking on the pavement. "Me," she squeaks, pointing at herself. She's not smirking anymore. She's not yelling. She's scared. The officer turns to her, raising an eyebrow. The neighbors lean closer, whispering louder. "What's he mean?" they say. Karen's in trouble. The air feels thick, like something huge is about to happen. Let's stretch this out, because this is the best part. Picture Jake standing there, tall and calm, his badge shining in his hand before he puts it away. He's not mad or loud, he's cool, like he's in control. The police car's lights are still flashing, spinning red and blue across the street. The officer's standing by the lawn, looking from Jake to Karen, trying to figure out what's going on. And Karen? She's a mess. Her hands are shaking, her clipboard slipping, and her big, bossy attitude is crumbling fast. The neighbors can't stop staring. Mrs. Lopez is on her porch now, arms crossed, watching with big eyes. Mr. Patel's got his phone out, texting his friends. "You won't believe this." The kids on bikes are huddled together, giggling and pointing. "He's a cop?" "A real cop," one says. "Karen's gonna get it," says another. The whole street's alive, buzzing with excitement. They've been watching Karen pick on Jake for weeks. Her notes, her ruler, her yelling, and now it's flipping around. Jake keeps talking, his voice steady. "See, officer," he says, nodding at the cop, "I moved here quiet like. Didn't want anyone to know who I was. My job's to watch for trouble, real trouble. Not grass blades or trash cans, but stuff like stealing or cheating. And I've been hearing things. People talking. People acting funny." He glances at Karen again, and she gulps loud enough for everyone to hear. The officer steps closer to Jake. "You're saying you're undercover?" he asks, making sure he's got it right. Jake nods. "Yup. Sheriff sent me. Been living here, keeping my eyes open. Thought it'd be simple, just watch and wait. But then," he chuckles, pointing at his lawn. "This lady turned my grass into a big deal. Guess she didn't know I was watching her, too." Karen's freaking out now. "Watching me," she yells, but her voice is wobbly. "I didn't do anything. I'm the HOA queen. I make the rules." She's waving her clipboard like it's a shield, but it's not helping. The officer looks at her, then back at Jake. "What's she done?" he asks, curious. Jake shrugs, still smiling. "Oh, I've got some ideas. Been hearing her brag about running the street. Been seeing her act like she owns everything. And funny thing, some money's been missing from the HOA. Little fines people paid that never made it to the bank. Wonder where that went." The crowd gasps again, even louder this time. "Missing money? From the HOA? That's a big deal." Mrs. Lopez claps a hand over her mouth. Mr. Patel nods, like he's not surprised. The kids whisper, "She's a thief." Karen's eyes dart around, looking for a way out. "That's crazy," she shouts. "I didn't steal anything." "He's lying." But her voice is high and squeaky, and no one's buying it. She's sweating now, her pink shirt sticking to her back. Let's zoom in on the scene some more, because it's too good to rush. Jake's still on his porch, leaning against the railing like he's talking about the weather. His soda's sitting there, fizzing a little, forgotten. The officer's standing on the grass, hands on his hips, listening close. Karen's a few steps away, her flip-flops planted on the pavement, but she's shaking like a leaf. The police car's radio crackles in the background, adding to the noise. And the neighbors? They're everywhere, windows, porches, yards, watching this like it's a movie. Jake keeps going, calm and clear. "See, Karen's been loud," he says. "Real loud. Yelling at me about grass, water, trash, everything. Leaving notes, calling you guys. She thought I was just some kid she could push around. But I've been listening. Every time she bragged, I heard it. Every time she bossed someone, I saw it. And I started asking, why is she so loud? What's she hiding?" Karen's panicking. Hiding, she yells. I'm not hiding anything. I'm keeping this place perfect. She's waving her arms, her clipboard flopping around. But Jake just smiles wider. Perfect, huh? Funny how the HOA cash keeps disappearing. Funny how you're always collecting fines from people. Where's that money going, Karen? He tilts his head, like he's asking a simple question. But it's not simple, it's a bomb. The officer's eyes narrow. Missing money, he says, turning to Karen. That true? Karen stammers again. And no. He's making it up. I'm honest. I'm the queen here. But she's tripping over her words, and her face is all sweaty. The neighbors start talking louder. I paid a fine last month. Mrs. Lopez calls out. Me too, says Mr. Patel. Where'd it go? The crowd's getting mad now, and Karen's in the hot seat. Jake steps down from the porch, slow and easy. Officer, he says, I've got some notes of my own. Been writing down what I hear, what I see. Got dates, times, everything. Think it's enough to start looking into her. He pats his pocket, like he's got a little notebook tucked away. The officer nods. All right, Deputy Miller. Let's see it. He's serious now, ready to do his job. Karen's done for. She drops her clipboard thud, and it lands on the ground. This is crazy, she yells, but it's weak. She's not the boss anymore. She's just a lady in flip-flops, looking small and scared. The officer steps toward her. Ma'am, he says, we're gonna need to talk. If there's money missing, that's serious. Karen shakes her head, backing up. No, no, no. It's him. Arrest him. His grass. But no one's listening to her grass talk anymore. The neighbors are cheering quiet at first, then louder. Go, Jake. Mrs. Lopez yells. Get her. Mr. Patel adds. The kids clap and jump, excited. Jake's the hero now, and Karen's the one in trouble. The officer puts a hand on her arm. Let's go, ma'am, he says, leading her to the car. She's still yelling my rules. My street. But it's over. Jake watches, hands in his pockets, grinning that big grin. His secret's out, he's a deputy, a real cop, and he's been playing it smart this whole time. Karen thought she was the queen, but Jake's the one who won. The sirens fade as the car pulls away, and the neighbors crowd around Jake, patting his back, saying, wow, you're awesome. He just laughs. Just doing my job, he says. But man, that lawn stuff? Crazy, right? Let's stretch this even more, because this reveal is everything. Picture the street after Karen's taken away. The police car's lights are still flashing as it turns the corner. The neighbors are out in full force now, old folks, young folks, kids, dogs, everyone's there. They're talking fast, laughing, shaking their heads. I knew she was nuts. Mrs. Lopez says. All that yelling about grass. Mr. Patel nods. And stealing? No way. The kids run up to Jake, asking, do you have a gun? Are you a spy? Jake chuckles. No spy stuff, he says. Just a badge and some listening. The sun's starting to set now, turning the sky orange and pink. Jake's porch is still there, soda can still fizzing. His tiny lawn looks perfect in the light, neat, green, no trouble at all. The neighbors keep chatting, amazed at how Jake fooled everyone. He was so quiet, they say. Never thought he was a cop. But that's the thing, Jake's quiet was his power. He listened, he watched, and he waited for the right moment. Karen's gone, and the street feels different. Lighter. Happier. The tensions popped, like a balloon that got too big. Jake's secret turned it all around. He wasn't just some kid with a lawn, he was a deputy, catching the real bad guy. And Karen? She never saw it coming. Her smirk, her ruler, her rules all gone in one big, wild Tuesday afternoon. Okay, let's wrap this story up with a bang. So, here's the deal, Jake Miller wasn't just some random guy who moved into Sunny Hills with a tiny lawn and a love for pizza. Nope, he was way more than that. Turns out, he'd been sent there on purpose. The sheriff's office, the big boss of the cops, had gotten some sneaky tips. Someone in Sunny Hills was being naughty, scamming the HOA. That's the homeowners association, the group that makes all those silly rules about grass and trash cans. The tip said someone was making up fake fines, telling people they had to pay money for little things, and then keeping that cash for themselves instead of giving it to the HOA. Sneaky, right? And Jake? He was the secret weapon sent to figure it out. Jake had been living in his little house, acting all normal, playing video games, eating pizza, mowing his tiny lawn while keeping his eyes and ears open. He was undercover, which means he was pretending to be just a regular guy so no one would suspect he was a sheriff's deputy. Pretty cool, huh? But all that time, he was watching and listening, trying to catch the bad guy or bad lady, in this case. And guess what? All those loud calls Karen Baxter made, all that yelling about Jake's grass, all those crazy notes she left, they led Jake straight to her. Yep, Karen was the one scamming the HOA. So, that wild Tuesday when the police car showed up with its flashing lights, it all came crashing down. After Jake showed his badge and told everyone he was an undercover sheriff's deputy, the cop didn't waste any time. Karen was still standing there, her face all white and sweaty, stammering about how Jake was lying and how it was just grass. But the officer, the one who came with the sirens, didn't buy it. He'd heard enough from Jake to know something fishy was going on. He steps over to Karen, calm but firm, and pulls out his handcuffs. They're shiny and metal, clicking as he opens them. "Ma'am," the cop says, "you're under arrest for stealing from the HOA. You have the right to stay quiet. Anything you say can be used against you in court." That's what cops say when they catch someone. They're called rights, and it's like a rule they have to follow. Karen's eyes get huge, and she starts sputtering, "This is outrageous. It's just grass. You can't do this." Her voice is all shaky now, not loud and bossy like before. She's waving her arms, her flip-flops slipping on the pavement, but it's no use. The cop puts the cuffs on her wrists, click, click, and they lock tight. She's caught, and there's no getting out of it. The officer holds her arm and starts walking her to the police car. Karen's still yelling, her voice getting higher and squeakier. "I'm the HOA queen. This is my street. It's just grass," she cries, like that's going to change anything. But the cop just keeps going, steady and quiet, guiding her along. The car door opens, and he helps her inside, well, more like pushes her a little, because she's wiggling and complaining the whole time. "You've got the wrong person," she shouts as the door slams shut. Bang. She's in the back seat now, her pink shirt all wrinkled, her clipboard left on the ground where she dropped it. The neighbors watch, their mouths open, as the car starts up and the sirens wail again. As the police car pulls away, something amazing happens. The neighbors cheer. Yep, they start clapping and shouting, all at once. "Woohoo," yells Mrs. Lopez from her porch. "Way to go, Jake," calls Mr. Patel, waving his rake in the air. The kids on their bikes jump up and down, clapping their hands. "He's a hero," one of them yells. Even the dogs start barking, like they're joining in. The street fills with noise, happy noise this time, not Karen's angry yelling. Everyone's excited because the guy they thought was just a sloppy kid turned out to be the one who took down the neighborhood bully. Jake's still standing on his porch, hands in his pockets, that big grin on his face. He waves at the neighbors, casual and cool, like it's no big deal. "Just doing my job," he says, his voice easy and friendly. Then he chuckles and adds, "Oh, and if anyone's got a problem with my lawn, take it up with the sheriff." The crowd laughs big, loud laughs that echo down the street. It's funny because Karen spent all that time fussing about his grass, and now Jake's the one in charge. No one's going to mess with his lawn anymore, that's for sure. The police car's lights fade as it turns the corner, taking Karen away. The neighbors don't scatter right away, though. They stick around, talking and buzzing with excitement. Sunny Hills feels different now, like a weight's been lifted. The air's lighter, the sun seems brighter, and even the birds sound happier. It's like the whole place got a little sunnier, all because Jake did his job and Karen got caught. Let's stretch this out, because this is where it all comes together. Picture the scene, the police car's gone, but its siren still echoes a tiny bit in the distance. Jake's tiny lawn is sitting there, neat and green, glowing in the late afternoon sun. His porch looks cozy with that soda can still fizzing on the railing. The neighbors are everywhere on their porches, in their yards, leaning over fences chatting like crazy. They can't stop talking about what just happened. It's the biggest thing to hit Sunny Hills in forever. Mrs. Lopez walks over to Jake, her hands on her hips. I can't believe it, she says, shaking her head. You're a deputy? And Karen was stealing? All this time, I thought she was just bossy. Jake nods, smiling. Yep, she fooled a lot of people. But not me. Mrs. Lopez laughs. You're sneaky, Jake. Good sneaky, though. We're lucky you moved in. She pats his shoulder and heads back to her house, still giggling about how Karen's big plans fell apart. Mr. Patel comes up next, his rake still in his hand. Jake, my friend, he says, grinning big. You're amazing. I paid a fine to Karen last month, $20 because she said my fence was too tall. Where'd that money go? Jake shrugs. Probably in her pocket. But don't worry, we'll figure it out. Mr. Patel claps his hands. Good. She had us all running around like scared chickens. No more. He waves and walks off, humming a happy tune. The kids on bikes zoom over, their tires squeaking as they stop. There's 3 of them, 2 boys and a girl, all wide-eyed and bouncy. Jake, the girl says, her ponytail swinging. Are you a real cop? Do you have a gun? Jake laughs. I'm real, yeah. No gun today, just a badge. That's enough for now. The boys lean closer. Did you catch bad guys before? One asks. Lots of times, Jake says, winking. But this one was the loudest. The kids giggle and ride off, yelling, Jake's the coolest, as they go. More neighbors join in. Old Mr. Thompson, who lives at the end of the street, shuffles over with his cane. Young man, he says, his voice crackly but strong, you did good. That Karen lady was a pest. Always banging on my door about my mailbox being rusty. Glad she's gone. Jake nods. Thanks, Mr. Thompson. No more banging, I promise. Mr. Thompson chuckles and shuffles back, muttering, about time someone fixed her wagon. Little by little, the crowd grows. People who didn't even see the police car show up come out because they heard the cheering. They ask, what happened? Why's everyone happy? And the others fill them in. Jake's a cop. Karen's a thief. She's gone. It's like a party now. Someone turns on music from their porch, a fun, bouncy song that makes the kids dance. A lady down the street brings out lemonade and passes cups around. To Jake, she says, raising her cup. Everyone cheers again to Jake. And takes a sip. Jake's just standing there, soaking it all in. He's not used to being the center of attention. He's a quiet guy, remember. But he's happy. He picks up his soda from the railing and takes a sip, leaning against his porch post. The neighbors keep coming up, thanking him, shaking his hand, telling him how great he is. You saved us from her, says a mom with a baby on her hip. She fined me for my stroller being too loud once. Jake shakes his head. That's wild. No more fake fines now. The mom smiles and bounces her baby, who giggles like he's in on the fun. Let's keep going, because this is too good to rush. The sun's getting lower, painting the sky all orange and pink. The street looks pretty cute: houses, green lawns, happy people. Jake's tiny lawn is the star, though. Everyone's looking at it now, laughing about how Karen made such a fuss over nothing. That grass is perfect. Mrs. Lopez calls out. Karen was nuts. Mr. Patel adds, she measured mine once with a ruler, said it was half an inch too long. The crowd roars with laughter. Half an inch? That's tiny. Karen's rule seems so silly now. Jake's loving it. He's not bragging or acting big, he's just happy to see everyone smiling. He sits on his porch steps, soda in hand, watching the party grow. The kids start a game of tag, running around the yards, dodging lemonade cups. The music gets louder, and a few grown ups start dancing funny, wiggly dances that make everyone laugh more. It's like Sunny Hills turned into a big, happy family, all because Jake caught the bully. Back to Karen for a sec. Let's imagine what's happening with her. She's in the police car, probably still yelling as it drives away. This is a mistake. I'm innocent, she's saying, banging on the window with her cuffed hands. But the cop driving just shakes his head. He's heard Jake's story, and he's got those notes Jake kept: dates, times, all the shady stuff Karen did. She's not getting out of this easy. At the police station, they'll ask her questions, check the HOA money, and figure out how much she took. It's not just about grass anymore, it's about stealing, and that's a real crime. The neighbors don't know all that yet, but they don't care. They're too busy celebrating. Someone brings out cookies, big, chocolate chip ones, and passes them around. For Jake, they say, and Jake takes one, grinning. Thanks, guys. Didn't expect a cookie party, he says, biting into it. The chocolate's gooey, and he wipes his hands on his jeans, laughing with everyone else. It's the best Tuesday ever in Sunny Hills. Let's stretch this even more. Picture the night settling in. The sky's turning dark now, stars popping out one by one. The street lights flicker on, casting a soft glow over everything. The music's still playing, but it's slower now, calmer. People sit on porches or in their yards, sipping lemonade, munching cookies, talking about Jake and Karen. I knew she was trouble, says a guy with a beard. She fined me for my dog barking once. A lady nods. Me too. $10 because my flowers were too bright. They laugh, shaking their heads. Karen's silly fines are a big joke now. Jake's still on his steps, watching it all. He's tired but happy, really happy. He didn't move to Sunny Hills to be a hero. He just wanted a quiet place to live, play games, eat pizza. But Karen made it loud, and now he's the guy who fixed it. The neighbors keep thanking him. A little girl with pigtails runs up and hands him a drawing. It's a stick figure Jake with a badge, standing by his lawn. For you, she says, shy. Jake takes it and smiles. Wow, thanks. This is awesome. He holds it up, and the crowd claps again. The party goes on, but it's winding down. People start heading inside, waving goodnight to Jake. See you tomorrow, deputy. Mrs. Lopez calls. You're the best, Jake. Mr. Patel adds. The kids ride their bikes home, still buzzing about the cool cop. Dogs bark a little, then settle down. The music fades, and Sunny Hills gets quiet again, but it's a good quiet, not the tense kind from before. Jake stays out a bit longer, looking at his lawn. It's just grass, but it started everything. He chuckles to himself, thinking about Karen's ruler and her notes. All that fuss, he says, shaking his head. He finishes his soda, grabs the empty can, and heads inside. His little house feels cozy. TV, couch, game controller waiting. He flops down, kicks off his shoes, and sighs. Job done, he mutters, smiling. Let's keep going, because this resolution is too fun to stop. Imagine the next day, Wednesday. The sun's up again, and Sunny Hills is buzzing, but softer now. People are back to normal, mowing lawns, walking dogs, sipping coffee on porches. But they're still talking about Jake. He's a deputy, they whisper over fences. Karen's gone, they say at the corner store. It's the big news, and it's not dying down yet. Jake's outside, checking his mail. No more nasty notes from Karen, just bills and a game magazine. He flips through it, humming, when Mrs. Lopez walks by. Morning, Jake, she says, grinning. You're famous now. Jake laughs. Not trying to be. Just glad it's quiet. She nods. No more yelling. You fixed that. She waves and keeps going, her flowers bouncing in the breeze. Mr. Patel stops by too, pushing his trash can to the curb. Jake, he says. Heard they found some of that missing money in Karen's house hidden in a cookie jar. Jake raises an eyebrow. A cookie jar? That's sneaky. Mr. Patel laughs. Yeah, but not sneaky enough for you. He claps Jake on the back and heads off, still chuckling. The kids ride by again, waving. Hi, Deputy Jake, they yell. Jake waves back. Hey, guys. Stay out of trouble. They giggle and pedal faster, pretending they're cops chasing bad guys. Jake watches them go, feeling good. He didn't expect all this cheers, cookies, drawings, but it's nice. Really nice. Back at the police station, Karen's not having fun. She's sitting in a little room, cuffs off now, but she's still mad. I didn't steal, she says to the cops. But they've got Jake's notes and the HOA records, and it's not looking good. Turns out, she'd been pocketing cash for months, little fines here and there, adding up to a lot. She thought she was too smart to get caught, but Jake's listening ruined her plan. She's in big trouble now, maybe jail, maybe paying it all back. Either way, she's not the HOA queen anymore. Sunny Hills keeps rolling along. The HOA picks a new leader, Mrs. Lopez, who's nice and doesn't care about tiny grass blades. She tells everyone, no more fake fines. Let's just keep it fun. The neighbors cheer again, happy to have someone fair. Jake's lawn stays the same, tiny, green, perfect, and no one bugs him about it. He's back to his quiet life, gaming and eating pizza, but now he's a hero, too. Let's stretch it one last time, because this justice feels so good. Days turn into weeks, and Sunny Hill settles down. The story of Jake and Karen becomes a legend. People tell it at barbecues. Remember when Karen called 911 over grass? And Jake was a cop. They laugh, sipping lemonade, shaking their heads. Kids draw pictures of Jake with his badge, taping them to their bikes. Even the dogs seem happier, wagging their tails without Princess yapping at them. Jake keeps being Jake, quiet, chill, friendly. He waves to neighbors, chats with the kids, mows his lawn when it needs it. He doesn't brag about catching Karen, that's not his style. But everyone knows, and they love him for it. Best neighbor ever, Mrs. Lopez says one day, handing him a cookie. You made Sunny Hill sunny again. Jake takes the cookie and grins. Just glad to help. And that's it, justice served, big time. Karen's gone, caught for her sneaky stealing. Jake's the hero who fixed it all, just by being smart and patient. The neighbors are free from her rules, cheering and laughing like never before. Sunny Hills is sunny again, and it's all because of that sloppy kid who turned out to be so much more. What a way to end, right? Okay, let's finish this story with something that makes you think and feel good. Jake's wild adventure in Sunny Hills teaches us something big, something super important. It's all about how you never really know who's watching you or what they're up to. Think about it. Karen Baxter, the loud HOA queen with her ruler and her clipboard, thought she was the boss of everything. She walked around like she owned the whole street, telling people what to do, yelling about grass, and making everyone follow her silly rules. She thought she had all the power, like a big queen on a throne, bossing everyone around without a care. But then there was Jake Miller, the quiet guy across the street. He didn't look like much to Karen. Just some new kid with a tiny lawn, messy sneakers, and a love for pizza. She thought he was weak, someone she could push around and scare with her loud voice and mean notes. She had no idea who he really was. Jake was quiet, sure, but he wasn't weak. He was watching her the whole time, listening to every word she said, seeing everything she did. And guess what? He turned out to be the real hero. Not loud, not bossy, just smart and brave in his own way. That's the cool thing about Jake's story. It shows us that the person you least expect, the quiet one, the underdog, might be the strongest of all. Karen thought she was winning because she was loud and pushy, but Jake was waiting for the perfect moment to shine. He didn't fight back with yelling or mean words. He stayed calm, kept his secret, and then bam, he showed everyone who he really was, an undercover sheriff's deputy. He caught Karen for stealing, saved the neighborhood, and turned everything around. The guy everyone thought was sloppy ended up being the star. So, here's something to think about next time you're out in the world. Maybe you see someone getting picked on like how Karen picked on Jake. Maybe they're quiet, or they don't fight back right away. Don't count them out. They might be like Jake, waiting for the right time to show what they're made of. The underdog, the one who doesn't look big or loud, could be hiding something awesome. They might just surprise you and turn into the hero when you least expect it. Isn't that cool? It's like a secret power hiding in plain sight. And what about the loud complainers, like Karen? The ones who yell the most, boss everyone around, and act like they're perfect? Jake's story says they're usually the ones with something to hide. Karen was so busy shouting about grass and rules that no one noticed she was sneaking money from the HOA. She acted big and tough, but deep down, she was scared of getting caught. The loudest people aren't always the strongest, they might just be trying to cover up their own mess. Jake proved that by staying quiet and smart, he could see right through her. This makes you wonder, right? Next time you meet someone loud and bossy, think, what are they hiding? And next time you see someone quiet getting pushed around, think maybe they've got a secret, like Jake. Maybe they're waiting for their big moment. It's like life is a big game of hide and seek, and you never know who's got the best hiding spot until they jump out and surprise you. Jake's story leaves us with a happy feeling, too. He didn't just catch Karen, he made Sunny Hills a better place. The neighbors cheered, the kids danced, and everyone laughed together. The street got sunnier because one quiet guy stood up in his own way. That's inspiring. It tells us we don't have to be loud or big to make a difference. We can be ourselves, quiet or loud, big or small, and still do something great. All it takes is being brave and smart, like Jake. So, what do you think about all this? Did Karen get what she deserved? I say yes. She was mean, sneaky, and bossy, and she thought she could get away with it. But Jake showed her she couldn't. She's off to face the consequences. No more HOA queen, no more yelling about grass. Justice was served, and it feels so good. What about you? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me if you think Karen got what was coming to her, or if you feel bad for her. I want to hear what you think. And hey, stick around, okay? This story was wild, but there's more where that came from. I've got tons of fun tales, crazy twists, cool heroes, and big surprises just waiting for you. Jake's adventure was awesome, but the next one might be even wilder. So keep watching, keep reading, and let's have some fun together. What's your favorite part of Jake's story? Tell me that, too. I'm all ears.